friends, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Wherever you are joining me from, I appreciate you and I thank you for being part of this program. Please like and share the program on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you so that they can be part of this very platform and be able to send information across. Fellow Biafrans and people of the world, viewers across the world, in this very platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. We don't come here for saga or to attack any individual. What we do in this platform is to send information across to the world on the true situation of things in Biafra land and in the contraption called Nigeria. There are so many things that are not being taken note of. There are so many things that are happening that are being told in a different form. In this platform, we bring those information to your doorstep and tell you exactly how things are. There are certain videos that you might not be able to come across on the media. Some videos that are hidden from the eyes of the people, we bring them out and share it through the social media so that the world will be aware of what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria. I welcome every one of you, and I'm going to share a very important information as we speak. I want you to watch this video from the beginning to end. You will understand what we are talking about. So many things that you can't see online. You are going to see it here. So, listen to this very video from the beginning to end, and I bet you're going to enjoy it. Let us watch it together and see what it means.
I have been sick of this problem. I have been sick of this controversy over living wage or minimum wage. And I believe that something is seriously wrong with the heads of many of our leaders. How can anyone who earns 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, not to talk of people who earn 1 million, 2 million, how can they go to sleep in good conscience every day? How can they go to sleep in good conscience and come out to sit down in a boardroom to discuss the sustainability or otherwise of paying 60,000 to the poorest of workers? How can we go to bed and sleep, all those who belong to the elite, who earn 2, 3, 4, 500,000, 1 million? How can you go to sleep in good conscience, I say, if you still have any conscience? How can you go to sleep in good conscience and come out to be debating? I hear people on TV, I watch people on TV, experts, economic experts, corporate executives, government officials, who are taking home more than $1 million in a month. And they are there arguing that 60,000 or over will destroy the economy. It's not sustainable. How wicked! You give 60,000 to a poor worker, a poor worker who may have a family of 2 or 3 or 4, for his feeding, for his accommodation, for his house rent, for his medical care, for his children's school fees. How wicked! How blind! How can we do that? And we think that God will bless our country. We think that it is by bringing a new national anthem for God to bless our country. How can you commit this crime against humanity? For me, this is a crime against humanity. Because the poor people who cannot afford to buy gari, I'm not saying they will buy that they are to buy sardine. I'm saying buy gari, poor people who cannot buy gari. I'm not talking of meat or fish. Poor people are dying because they have no money to cure malaria. How can you go to sleep in good conscience? Those of us who belong to the elite, how can we go to sleep with good conscience and we are debating and we are discussing and we vote 500 million naira to meet and debate about paying 60,000 to the poor? My dear friends, I see this as a new form of apartheid. Nigeria is one of the most unequal societies in the entire world. A society where it's like the animal farm. A society where we have conspicuously rich people, people who are living in conspicuous consumption, and others who are in deplorable, dehumanizing poverty. If you have somebody in this country that takes home 1 million naira, I mean 1 million, I'm not talking of 30 million naira, 1 million naira in the month, and he can open his mouth to be part of a discussion about the poor getting 60,000 naira. I say anyone who earns up to 1 million naira in the month should keep his or her mouth shut when he hears them debating about taking 60,000 for the poor. More than 60 years after independence, we are running an apartheid society. This time it's not racial apartheid, it's economic apartheid. We are running an apartheid society of people of conspicuous consumption, flying in private jets around at government expense, people who are riding 4, 5, 6, 7 SUVs with pilot vehicles, chasing the poor out of the road, and poor people, you are debating, you are discussing, you are over 60,000 for the poor. You insult the poor by saying 30,000, and later you say 48,000, and now you say 60,000, and you pay more than 60,000, you come out with 62,000. You insult poor Nigerians. I say there is hardly any society I know that is as divided as the Nigerian society. And a society that is so divided is just sitting on a keg of gunpowder. I have warned here before that the revenge of the poor is at the corner. The revenge of the poor is at the corner. I am not calling for it, but it will happen as night follows the day. Because when you so reduce people, you reduce people to this dehumanizing level. Nature does not allow a situation of islands of affluence amidst a sea of poverty. Nature does not allow it. And let me warn those in the elite. Let me warn those in the tripartite committee of government. Let me warn that it is in the course of nature that when a predator continues to devour the very resources that the predator needs for his own sustenance, nature will take out the predator in order to have equilibrium, in order to have a measure of equilibrium. Nature is about balance, you know. All of nature is about balance. And human beings are part of nature. And Nigerians are part of nature. If the predator who needs the animals in the kingdom, it needs the animals in the book to survive, if it is recklessly devouring the very animals it needs for its own survival, if it is devouring it recklessly and senselessly, nature will step in and remove the predator so that there can be balance in the system, in the ecosystem. Let me warn that all those who are in government, I hear, I have not confirmed, that there are people taking home almost 30 million naira in the month. And you have the guts, and you have the temerity to sit down, and your conscience allows you to sit down to discuss about 60,000 naira for poor worker for the whole month, and you are the one that has all the opportunities of extra code and all kinds of perquisites of office. You sit down to discuss about 60,000, and that is all that the person will have in the month. You sit down to discuss this and come out and say, this is not sustainable. How is 30 million naira sustainable in that economy? How is it sustainable that the leader has 100 SUVs going with him to the airport? How is it sustainable? How is it sustainable that government leaders junket around the world? How is that sustainable? I say we are committing a crime against humanity. And if we do not repent and retrace our steps immediately, the revenge of the poor is at the corner. Do not hold me responsible, because while the devastation was on, I did not keep quiet. Do not hold me responsible, because while the madness was on, I did not sit on the fence. I kept on shouting that the revenge of the poor is at the corner unless we change our course. And if we do not change our course, we will end up where we are headed. And where we are headed is devastation, is destruction, is violent revolution. I rest my case.
Yesterday, I was reading the Vice President's statement when he was commissioning the 21 billion naira so-called resident for Vice President. And a part of that speech provoked me, where he said that the provision of a suitable residence for the Vice President was not merely a matter of convenience, but a symbol of respect for the office and the individuals who occupy it. Politicians who have presided over poverty and unemployment and widespread insecurity still want to have respect from the citizens that they have pauperized. It doesn't matter to these politicians that over 60 million Nigerians are on the brink of starvation. It doesn't matter to them that thousands of small businesses have folded up and that millions of young people are desperate and hopeless. To these politicians, you are not empowered citizens with rights. You are merely helpless subjects who should be grateful for the scraps that they dish out to you. But they forget that economic stagnation and starvation will always radicalize citizens and breed extremism. That's why you see a preponderance of violence across our country. That's why you see the rise of non-state actors everywhere across Nigeria. They forget that the people who have nothing to lose will have no other option but to revolt. That's why every day you are in traffic now in Lagos, you have people trying to pull away your side mirror, to break your windscreen, just to get something out of you. If people who have nothing to lose will have no fear revolting. How can you have a country where there is over 40% of food inflation and the priority of the elite class is to be funding white elephant projects that add no value whatsoever to the Nigerian people? Yet they have kept tariffs high on the importation of food. The Lagos state government last week cut off the 25% subsidy on public transportation, even though it has now more revenue after petrol subsidy was ostensibly removed. They can't even subsidize 25% of public transportation. Saboda Allah, saboda Annabi. Subhanallah, saboda Allah, saboda Annabi. They cannot even subsidize 25% of public transportation. Yet they ride on the latest SUVs. Governors in 3 months have spent 34 billion on local and international travel. 34 billion. They have spent 5.1 billion on refreshments in just 3 months. These are the elite class that want you to continue tightening your belt for them, that want you to show them respect. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. It's why I tell young people, you have no business bothering about what, the generations of Yokupe see on television. Why are you bothered about that? It's your future that's on the line. You don't need affirmation from a political class that has failed you, that have mortgaged your future. You don't need affirmation from any generation than the urgency required to save your future and your destiny. It doesn't care. You shouldn't care less what people in their 60s or 70s think about an administration or not. What's your business with that? Does that put food on your table? I tried to order a bag of potatoes. I love chips. I tried to order a bag of potatoes from Jos. A bag is 150,000 naira. A bag of potatoes, 150,000 naira. But that incompetent political class wants you to continue to submit to them, to hold them in majesty. Even the chicken that lays the so-called golden egg, the NNPC, where your wealth is tied to as a country, right? You're barely able to meet the quota that has been given to you by OPEC. We have a quota of 1.9 million barrels of oil per day. We're struggling to meet 1.3 million barrels of oil. Meanwhile, in 1970, we're doing 2 million barrels of oil per day. But the incompetent political class that you have are unable to even do what was done in 1970. Now, mind you, of that 1.3 million barrels of oil that is produced per day, a quarter of it is already tied to loan repayments. So it adds no value to you. A quarter is already tied to loan repayments. Afri-Exim Bank and so on. Tied to loan repayments. Again, the unit cost of production in our country is $48 per barrel. The average global benchmark is between $10 to $12 per barrel. Countries that are at war and countries that are under sanctions, Iran, Iraq, they are producing between $10 to $12. we are doing $48 per barrel. Your future has essentially been mortgaged. There's no way out of this. Look, listen. You know, we're in a mess. And Abuja does not have the solution. Listen, anybody who tells you that the current political elite, the current governing class can get you out of the woods is fooling you. We're in trouble.
Thank you so much for watching the program. I appreciate you for your patience to watch from beginning to end. I hope you have learned a lot from this very program that I just played, this video. Please like and share the video. Share to all platforms. After sharing the video, now you can go to the comment section and put down your comments. Whatever suggestions, contributions you have to make, what do you think about the video I just played? Go to the comment section and put your comment. I will go through the comment section, and I bet you I am learning a lot from there, and you can equally learn from there. Let us share our experience on that comment section. Thank you so much, and stay blessed. Don't forget to share, and we continue to bless you as you share. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity, and equity. We move.